Constantly weakening that enamel structure. We need to repair. Pro-enamel repair helps repair the enamel.
Sit right in front. Good to see your son, everybody involved in court today. The ones with the red other hearings, they can't hear you.
Oh, okay.
Your son should be up there on the top right.
Okay.
Same, correct?
Okay, I guess we're ready to proceed. So this is the detention docket for the 323rd District Court. So we're going to start with Eric Espitia. All right, Eric, I'm Judge Kim. This is the detention docket for the 323rd. Let me explain what's going on. The law says when a child is brought to our detention facility, you have to see a judge within 2 business days, and I have to make a decision whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge within every 10 business days to make the same decision. Also want to let you know you have the right to remain silent. However, if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. Finally, you have the right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. So, let's see here. All right, so you're brought in on February 4th for possession of weed. And we give you drug tests on March 6th, or February 20th, we gave you a drug test and you were negative. So you had stopped smoking weed. Then March 6th, you tested positive for marijuana. And then March 13th, you tested positive for marijuana again. So while you have a pending marijuana case, you stopped and then you continued to use marijuana. So now, let's see, yesterday, Eric was referred by Arlington Police Department. They were dispatched to your home for domestic. When they got there, your father said that you appeared to be under influence, and when he confronted you about it, you became angry and you took a few swings at him. He said he was able to block a few of the punches, but you punched him in the head, causing him to bleed. Officer spoke to you, who was on your bed crying. You admitted to being drunk and drinking approximately 20 shots of alcohol. Let's go back to April. You were referred out of custody for possession of weed. About 6 o'clock in the morning on March 10th, they were referred to your house for a domestic. And according to your mom, she opened the door to your bedroom, found 2 females in the bed with your son. One of the females woke up and climbed out the window. On the floor, the foot of the bed, she found a baggie that had weed in it, or it looked like weed. She took the bag, emptied liquor bottles, said you woke up, then went back to sleep, and the female was not waking up. She thought y'all were drunk. Female was identified, taken to the hospital because they couldn't find her mother. When your mom asked you about the weed, you said you didn't know where it came from or how it got into your room. You said you were addicted to weed, but you did not smoke any that day. Your mom turned over the weed to the police. You admitted to drinking alcohol and being intoxicated. So you were cited for consumption of alcohol and possession of marijuana. All right, well, I don't know why juvenile probation didn't tell me that you're testing positive for weed while you have a pending weed case, because I would have brought you back into detention just for that. The fact that now you picked up a family violence case just makes it worse. And you decided it's okay to drink alcohol and smoke weed while you have a pending case. So for your safety, to prevent you from using drugs, alcohol, and being involved in that culture, I'm going to go ahead and detain you. All right? Thank you, Eric. You have Gage Gothard next.
Gage,
Yeah, man, right here. He was in Bird's class. You in Bird's class? Are you gonna have to see my purple laptop? Hurry up, face on that stuff. Speak up.
All right, Mr. Gothard, I'm Judge Kim. This is a 323rd District Court. The law says when a child is brought to our detention facility, you have to see a judge within 2 business days, and I have to make a decision whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says that you have to see a judge every 10 business days. Also want to let you know you have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. Finally, you have the right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. All right, so currently you were placed on probation on November 7th of 2018 for unlawfully carrying a weapon in a prohibited place, and it was a firearm. Go back a little deeper. So you're 16 years old. So when you were 15, you were brought in for assault causing bodily injury on October 27th for an October 27th incident. Then on November 10th, you allegedly committed another assault causing bodily injury.
Judge Kim,
Yes?
I think you might be looking at the wrong kid. He only has 1 referral.
Oh, you know what? These are, I had a couple stapled together. Thank you, Ms. Hall. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you're on probation, which is going to expire on May 16th. And you finished family partnership program. You're on a wait list at Care House, but we don't know how long it's going to take. See, so on May 1st, police were dispatched. They met with your grandma, who said that you put her hands on her chest and pushed her, causing her to fall to the ground. But she said she wasn't hurt. Officer found you, and you said that your grandma slapped you and you shoved her, but you did not mean to cause her to fall down. You pushed her out of self-defense. All right, so grandma's here, I guess?
Yes, I am.
All right, so what's his diagnosis?
Well, Care House has a bed for him this morning. If we call before 11:30, they think they had a bed at 9:30. They're trying to hold a bed for him.
Okay, what's his diagnosis?
His diagnosis is PTSD and abandonment issues.
Okay. All right. All right, so Gage, here's my thing, right? I hate to say it, but your grandma has the right to slap you. She's the one taking care and control of you, and you're disciplined, all right? You cannot claim self-defense on this one because that is her responsibility as a parent. Now, if she goes too far and abuses you, that's a different law that's being broken. You can't claim self-defense against your parents or grandparents, okay, when they're the ones providing care for you. All right. So, what's your takeaway from this? Come on. I mean, what are you getting out of this? I mean, the police got involved. They brought you over here.
That it was a dumb idea to do that.
Right? I mean, at the time, it may have seemed like the thing to do. But now looking back, you understand that the only thing that you can control is how you react. Okay? That's literally the only thing. You can't control anything else, but that's what you can't control. All right? So take ownership of that. Realize there are times that you can take control and just do it. Sometimes it just means just giving yourself a timeout. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and release you to Care House. Okay, so they have a bed ready for you. I don't want to interrupt that since you've been waiting for that. So now, I'm saying that, but what happens when you go to Care House and you get frustrated?
Try to calm myself down.
Right. The only thing you can control is how you react, right? So hopefully this experience here is just a learning experience. Hopefully I never see you again. All right, Gage? All right, thank you. All right, Keith Henderson.
Henderson. Hey, Dave. You sit down, put your chair straight to the front of the laptop. Yeah. Take your shirt all the way around.
All right, Mr. Henderson.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you've been here for 13 days.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Berger, you requested this hearing?
I did, Your Honor.
For what purpose?
Well, at the last hearing, Judge Porter had asked Keith a very simple question, which was, can you abide by the curfew restriction? And Keith took it the wrong way and basically said he couldn't. Very poor choice of questions and answer. So the judge detained him. He was going to release him until he said that.
All right.
So rather than wait any longer, and he's been on level 1 outstanding the whole time, I thought he might get out a little bit early.
All right, so Keith, I have a couple questions for you. When you're here at Kimbo, do you have a curfew?
Yes, sir.
All right, you follow the curfew here?
Yes, sir.
Because you're level 1 outstanding since April 26th, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you understand that your curfew is your curfew. You can either follow your curfew at home or you can follow your curfew at Kimbo, right?
Yes, sir. Follow that home.
Okay, so I mean, that makes it pretty simple. Now you're level 1 outstanding here. I understand there's been some conflict with your mom last time. I was actually watching the hearing last time we were here, and I remember what Mr. Berger was saying. And what I could tell is I could sense mom's frustration with you, all right?
Yes, sir.
So here's the thing is, I'm okay releasing you, but the problem is I'm not gonna release you. Well, I'm thinking about releasing you because you're level 1 outstanding here at Kimbo, okay? Now the problem is if I release you and you're not level 1 outstanding at your mom's house, what do you think I'm gonna do?
Bring me back here.
I'm gonna bring you back here. It's that simple for me, okay? You know, we got a bed here for you. We understand your mom's frustration. She's worried about your attitude and how you're going to be a man and you're going to be the boss, right? You're 15 years old. Okay. You turned 15 while you're here at Kimbo, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
The birthday you'll never forget, is it?
Yes, sir.
All right. So here's the thing, right? I'm looking at your behavior and looking at your past. What I don't want to see is you spending your 18th birthday, 19th birthday, 21st birthday, 30th, 40th, 50th birthday in TDC. You see where I'm going with this?
Yes, sir.
Right? So, and here's the little trick that kids don't realize when they come through here. Is the kids that give their parents this attitude, this problem, they're the ones that later on end up with problems with the law, okay?
Yes, sir.
These people that you got picked up with that night that I saw, I have a feeling that your mom did not approve of these people, right? Mom, do you know who he was running around with that night?
No, but I do know he was with one of my nephews. But
Okay.
in Frisco, so he won't be out. He won't be out this way.
Is that nephew a person that you approve of?
I love my nephew. He never done anything like this before, just like Keith. But them two together, you know, they act like brothers, then they are cousins. But I'm gonna take him to Frisco, and they're gonna have some separation for a while.
Okay. So here's the thing, Keith. I'm releasing to your mom on electronic monitor. And the reason why I'm doing electronic monitor is because you gave kind of some pushback as far as the curfew, right? And then we'll see how it goes. After 30 days, we may take it off. But really, all that has to happen is your mom has to call us and say, hey, look, Keith isn't a level 1 outstanding here. Keith is giving me problems. He's not following the rules. He's not doing his chores. And then we just bring you back here. It's that simple. You're earning your time at home by doing what you're supposed to do, okay? You're 15. Don't be a grown-up yet. Just be 15, okay?
Yes, sir.
Am I gonna have a problem with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, curfew's not a problem.
Yes, sir.
Mom's house rules, not a problem.
Yes, sir.
What if she says, I don't like that kid? Stop hanging around with him. What do you do?
Move around.
Right? There you go. She's the boss. I'm telling you what, Keith, it's you and me and your mom are playing 2-on-1 basketball against you. And you can't win 2-on-1. You know that, right?
Yes, sir.
You're not that good. Okay. All right, Mom, let us know if there's any problems, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, I'll have one here for you to pick up, Ms. Paxton. All right, we'll go Joshua Ingram. Mr. Adler, are you here? Mr. Adler? All right, Mr. Ingram, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. The law says when a child is brought to our detention facility, you have to see a judge within 2 business days, and I get to make the decision on whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 business days to make the same decision. You have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing can be used against you, cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. And finally, you have the right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. All right, so Mr. Ingram, what I'm seeing here is you're level 3 unacceptable. All right, and so I'm going to go ahead and detain you. If you can't behave back here, you can't behave in the community. Thank you, sir. Don Johnson. Okay.
Don Johnson, bring your chair.
It was 3U. What I found out is 3 unacceptable is actually a lot of times worse than 3 confined. Because sometimes you can do you didn't mean to do. 3U, you work yourself there. All right, so Mr. Johnson, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. The reason why you're here is because when a child is brought to our detention facility, you have to see a judge within 2 business days, and I have to make a decision on whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, then the law says that you have to see a judge every 10 business days to make the same decision. You have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. Finally, you have a right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. All right, so Mr. Johnson, see, you just turned 15 years old. See, Arlington Police brought you here. I signed a warrant for you on April 9th for you violating curfew and associating with other children on probation. You're currently on probation for theft of property. And we gave you a drug test. You're positive for weed. And you were just brought in the day before your birthday. So you just spent your birthday in here. All right, so probation is asking for you to be released to your mom because your mom wants to move to Collin County. Here's the thing. So, Ms. Gonzalez, there's a child on probation. He has picked up 2 cases since then. Both of them were not accepted, but he still was picked up on them. He's associated with other juveniles on probation that he's not supposed to do. He's violating his curfew. We issued a warrant for him, and he didn't turn himself in for a month. We had to go pick him up through Arlington Police Department, and he's smoking weed. So why should I release him?
Your Honor, our original plan after we had an administrative hearing was to release him back to his mother on electronic monitor. However, she just notified me this morning that they are now living in McKinney. And so our plan, after I spoke with my supervisor, was to ask for interim supervision. I know the mother has been really trying to relocate her family because of all the issues that have come up in the neighborhood, and I guess the types of people he's associating with. And so his mother is hopeful that moving to McKinney is going to alleviate some of that by him not being around those 2 individuals, Jaden Clinton and Jacob Livingston.
So here's my thing. Like, Judge Wheelis is the juvenile judge in Collin County, and I like Cindy. I mean, she and I are friends. Why would I want to send Don to her? Like, that's not very friendly. He's a kid that's on probation. He's using drugs while on probation. He's committing new offenses, or he's getting arrested for new offenses, and he is affiliating with other people. Like, what is he doing right on probation?
He is involved in TCAP, and I just received a report from them, and it looks like he was engaging with them successfully. I'm kind of surprised that he was still keeping in contact while he was on the run. And he was also participating in FIT. It's my understanding that that counselor had reported a couple missed visits with him. So I know the engagement there wasn't as successful. During this time while he was on run, according to his mother, he was coming in and out of the house, but it wasn't long enough for us to, or for her to issue or call the police to report him. So she had been seeing him apparently kind of in and out of the house.
So he was a runaway for about a month.
That's correct.
Right. All right, Mr. Johnson, I'm not sure I like this, but I'm going to go ahead and release you to your mom. I'm going to give you a fair warning, okay? Judge Wheelis is very different than me. She and I get along fabulously. But here's the problem. Judge Wheelis overly cares. Like, she will be all up in your business. She will know everything about you. She will get regular reports about you personally. That's just the kind of judge that she is, right? For me, I'm very matter of fact. I just look at what happened, what you've done, and make my decisions. She gets up in your business, okay? And there's all kinds of placements that she's engaged in. You may be going to places for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year. She may be sending you off of those to try and help you. So what I need to let you know is, I'm letting you know that I'm very matter of fact, and it's very cut and dry for me. For Judge Wheelis, there's a whole lot of personal attention. If you continue with these shenanigans with Judge Wheelis, your life is going to be very miserable until you finally figure out either you follow the rules or you don't follow the rules. It's one or the other. Okay? It can become very painful with Judge Wheelis in Collin County. So I'm not sure this is putting you in a better situation, but it's a situation that you got. Okay? My advice to you, just follow the rules. You do not want to be in Judge Wheelis's court breaking all the rules. For me, I'll just bring it back to Kimbo, and we'll have short conversations like this. With Judge Wheelis, you're talking about it drawing out for years. You'll be doing this till you're 19 years old. She will hold you for that long, and she will know everything about you. All right? So either take my advice or don't, but I recommend you take my advice. Just follow the rules. It'll be that simple. If you follow the rules, man, she's great. No problems at all. Okay? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Caitlin Lopez.
Okay. All right. Well, then just check on the table.
Straight release, Collin County. Ms. Herrick?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm firing you on Melissa Soto.
Okay.
They requested bilingual, so Mr. Adler is going to be appointed that one.
Okay, I understand.
I was going to been fired. You've been traded.
I understand.
All right, Ms. Soto. All right, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing for the 323rd. Let me explain what's going on. The law says when a child is brought to our detention facility, that you have to see a judge within 2 business days and have to make a decision whether.
Your Honor.
Yes.
That's not my sister. That's not Melissa Soto.
Now that's my daughter.
This is Caitlin Lopez. Ms. Soto will be last.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we have the wrong parents. All right. So are you the parent for Caitlin Lopez?
I'm her mother.
Okay. All right. So Ms. Lopez, the younger Lopez, this is a detention hearing. The purpose of this hearing is to make a decision whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 business days while you're here to make the same decision. I want to let you know you have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. Finally, you have the right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. All right, so let's see, Caitlin, back started. When you were 13, you had a assault, which was dismissed for deferred prosecution. Then, I guess earlier this year, you ran away from home. And so according to the police, on April 17th, about 11:30, police were dispatched to a home. Mom said she was assaulted by Caitlin, said one of her other children told her there was a funny smell coming from Caitlin's room. Mom went there because you have a history of vaping. You searched the room and searched Caitlin. You scratched and pushed her mom, causing pain and redness on her arms. Mom tried to search you, but was continually met with resistance. Eventually, you pushed mom hard enough that she fell over the bed and hit her foot on the nightstand. She tried to get up, but you were pushed down again by Caitlin and hurt her back on the wood bed frame. Okay, so that was April 18th. Back March 9th, there's an officer on patrol at Walmart, said that there's a female juvenile without shoes on. He asked what was wrong, said your parents are out of town, you didn't have anywhere to go, and you were run away from Keller. I remember that one. Yeah, I remember, Caitlin, because the conversation that we had was, if I let you go, you got to follow the rules at home.
Your Honor,
Yes?
this is her actual second assault on me. The story.
Correct. No, I see that. I'm getting there. On March 6th, there's another. Police were dispatched for domestic. Said that you were assaulted on February 23rd. You're trying to punish Caitlin by taking her cell phone away and refused to give it back. So, Ms. Paxton, did we give her a drug test when she came in?
Your Honor, yes, we did on the 18th, and she was negative for all substances.
Oh, she's been here since they, okay.
Yes,
So, oh, this is a 10-day?
this is a 10-day, yes.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Caden. So I'm glad you're level 1 out. Why is she only made level 1 out today? Why did she dip down?
Your Honor, I show that just she had some minors, disrespectful staff by rolling eyes, argumentative about phone call, laughing at peer. It's all been minor stuff.
Okay, so just major attitude problem.
Yes.
Ms. Lopez, if you want to talk about the facts of the case, I don't really want to. I'd rather you stay quiet and just have that conversation with the attorney. If you want to talk about your behavior level, I'm interested.
I was a 1-0, except for yesterday. Since not last Tuesday, but the Tuesday before that, except for yesterday. I was for like 2 weeks straight.
All right. So, no, I believe it. I think the big problem, Caitlin, is, here's the thing, you're going to do it your way. That's in your mind. You've just set on it to do it your way, and nobody's going to tell you otherwise. It doesn't matter what the rules are. It doesn't matter what consequences are. And I need you to understand that all your decisions in life have consequences, whether it's against your mom or against the detention staff or with me. That's the way life is. And I don't know if you come to grips with that or not. I do know you have a court setting on the 6th. That's in 2 days. So I'm just concerned, especially because you've run away before and that you're a repeat offender, evidently against your mom. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep you in here at least until your court setting. Yes, ma'am.
I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh, my last judge said if I was a 1-0, I would be able to get out today.
If you were level 1-0?
Mm-hmm.
And how long did you have to hold it for?
I don't know. He just said I had to be a 1-0. Or 10 days.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Judge Porter said he would consider release. He's not going to consider release. Judge Porter told you he will not even consider the release unless you're level 1-0. Okay. He didn't make a deal saying if you're level 1-0, you get out. That's the first step, is to be level 1-0. Okay. And you're there. But what I'm considering is the fact there's only 2 days until your next court setting, right? I'd just rather keep you here because your mom cannot continue to be a victim of your decisions.
Well, me and my mom talked about me and her together going to counseling and stuff and working out our problems. And I'd really like to go home and be able to do that.
Right. And you, I imagine you'll have the chance once we go through the next court setting to dispose of your case. Here's the thing, all right? You can have, you're 15, right?
Yes.
Okay. You are not the first 15-year-old in history to have a conflict with your mom. Okay, that is what mothers and daughters do. Your mom, when she was 15, she had conflicts with her mom. Okay, I promise you this. And Ms. Paxton, she had conflicts with her mom when she was 15. This is a natural part of what life is. Mothers and daughters just have that. They have that stress, and you grow closer, and then you have some division, you grow closer, and that's just the way mankind works. Here's the problem. There are decisions that were made that brought me into the situation, that brought the courts into the situation. And that's what removes this from this natural progression of this dynamic between mothers and daughters. Now you have a third party who doesn't know you, who doesn't know your mom, doesn't know your family history, your family dynamics, your struggles, your blessings. I don't know any of that. I look at everything very detached, as a matter of law, very factually, right? And what I'm concerned about is I have a girl here who's been here a couple times for family violence against her mother, who has also been a runaway, right? I'm worried about this supervision. I'm worried about the safety of you. I'm worried about your decisions. So had you not crossed that line where the police had to get involved, you and your mother would be working this out just like Miss Paxton and her mom did, okay? Unfortunately, now that I'm here now, I have to make these decisions as an outsider, and you have to reach me being on a different comfort level. Did you want to say something?
My mom will be with me the entire time. If I'm released, I'll be at court Wednesday. I really, really want to go home. I've been doing good. I just want to go home.
I understand. And that's part of the situation. Is part of my concern is you will be with your mom nonstop because she is the alleged victim in 2 cases. And also part of this is also the consequences. At the time when when they're saying that you pushed your mom down, at the time that they're saying that you were vaping in your room or you didn't want to be searched, you were making decisions saying, what I'm doing now is worth the consequences that are to come. And these are part of the consequences, right? And this is part of the process. So I understand how much you want to go home. And I'm like 90% sure that things will be fine in the next 2 days and won't be a problem. My bigger thing is there are consequences to your decisions. Decisions were made, right? And this is what happens from those decisions. And this is part of the process that I'm trying to show you in the future when you're coming across a situation, saying, no, it's not worth it. I am sure at this point, if it's true that you were vaping in your bedroom, that you would much rather your mom have caught you with a vape pen than you being here at Kimbo.
And I understand that, but that's not even what happened. I was with.
I'm going to stop you. Hold on. I don't want to talk about the facts because I don't want to put your attorney in the spot. Your attorney is trying to defend you, and I don't want you to say anything to me, even though it can't be used. You see down there where it says Mark Richmond?
No.
Good-looking man in the tie and the suit?
I can't see that on my screen.
Okay. Well, he is the prosecutor, and he represents the district attorney's office, and he is taking notes. So if you say anything, even though it can't be used against you, it may make your punishment more difficult.
Then can my mom tell you she started too earlier, but she got...
That will be on for May 6th. That'll be something she needs to talk to your attorney about, okay?
I really want to go home with my mom.
I understand. I totally get it. I am not taking that away from you at all. I know you want to go. What I need you to do is understand there are consequences to your decisions.
And I do understand that, and that's why I've been here. I've been here for 2 weeks without my family.
And that's why you're continuing to be here. That's what you have to understand is you don't get to control this, right? This is part of the consequences of life is sometimes you make decisions that other people decide what the outcome is. That's what you're not grasping right now.
I understand that, but even if I'm getting out, I'm not going to be able to do, I'm going to be sitting in my room, cleaning the house, doing chores. It's not like I'm going to be out here having fun. I want to be with my family, and I've been here for 2 weeks without them. And I've done what I need to do back here. I'm doing great in school right now, and I haven't gotten in trouble.
I understand. So are you trying to convince yourself or trying to convince me?
You.
Okay, but my decision is already made. See, this is the part of the consequences you're not understanding is there are times where you make decisions where other people make decisions. It's not that you can talk your way into it or out of it or sell yourself or sell the idea, right? That's not what it's about. The idea is you put yourself into a situation where somebody else now makes the decision, no matter how persuasive or what you want it to change. That's what life is about. Your mom has that with her boss, where she makes decisions and her boss makes decisions, and there's consequences to those decisions, right? This is outside of your control right now. This is based on your prior actions. I don't think you truly understand that when I say consequences, it's not just like swift punishment and it's over. Consequences means you put yourself in an entirely different situation.
I understand that. Me and her want, but I want to fix things. Me and her.
If you understood that, then you wouldn't be trying to convince me.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Okay, this is Larry Beaver. So, Caitlin, I'll call you later on today and we can discuss this, please. So I'm sorry, just please be patient. Please be patient. Stay on level 1, okay? Let me call you later on today. I spoke with both you and your mother, but let me speak with you later on this afternoon, please. Okay, thank you. Please be patient.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Beavers. We have Calvin Moore. I don't think she understands the consequences, man. All right, Mr. Moore, I am Judge Kim. You're turning 17 in just a couple of weeks.
Yes, sir.
Right. So this is a detention hearing. I make a decision whether to keep you in custody or release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 business days to make the same decision. I also want to let you know you have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. Finally, you have a right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I'll provide one for you. All right. So, Mr. Moore, brought in, there's a year ago for resisting arrest and assault bodily injury. You had deferred prosecution. And then, you're 16 years old. You had a criminal trespass in August of 2019. That case is pending. Then you were released on December 2nd, 2019. You're brought in for aggravated robbery. 3, 4, 5 counts of aggravated robbery. You were released on May 1st. This is why we're here for failed to ID and unlawfully carrying a weapon. So let's see. On May 1st, Manfield Police had a traffic stop on a vehicle with 2 males. They smelled weed coming from the vehicle. The driver admitted he was not the owner of the vehicle, and when he was asked the name of its owner, he gave a suspicious response of having to think about it before coming up with Jonathan Jones. They ran the VIN. The owner's name was Anthony Uveda, which was very different than the driver's story. So they got the occupants out, searched the vehicle, found a duffel bag under the seat, under which seat? Mr. Lewis?
Yes, sir.
Under which seat was the duffel bag?
One moment, sir. The driver's seat.
The driver's seat, okay. All right, so under the duffel bag was a silver Smith & Wesson 40 caliber handgun, which was stolen out of Fort Worth when they ran the serial number. When they asked the suspects whose gun this was, Calvin claimed the ownership. Also in the vehicle was a surgical glove containing 22 caliber rounds, a bag of pills that resembled ecstasy. Calvin gave the police the spelling of his name Kalvin instead of Cal, and a bad date of birth, but then eventually admitted that he had been to Kimbo. We confirmed that you're a youth on record, got a photo, and then confirmed your identity. So the aggravated robbery case is in February. Oh, there's one with a haircut. Oh yeah, where I didn't want to let you go. And now you're testing weed, positive weed. So you got 5 counts of aggravated robbery, you're smoking weed, you're rolling around in a stolen car with a stolen handgun and giving fake names to the police. So at this point, I am not comfortable releasing you. I'm gonna go ahead and detain you. And I encourage you to keep your behavior level up. Not necessarily that it's gonna help you get out, but you need to help your attorney with everything possible as far as your case is concerned. Mr. Richmond, do we know if this is a case that the state intends on seeking certification?
Where did it come from?
Not yet, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, well,
Hold on.
we'll
Does
see.
that mean not yet you don't know? I'm sorry. Does that mean not yet you don't know?
No, what?
Correct, I don't know.
Okay. Thank you.
5 counts of what?
Aggravated robbery.
What?
Don't say anything, Calvin. Don't say anything, Calvin.
Mr. Moore, just don't say anything. Talk to your attorney. She can talk to you. You're not familiar with the
I will
aggravated
call
robbery?
you.
Who's my attorney?
Hold on a second. Okay, so you see Miss Herrick. She's the one, blue shirt, waving at you with a star over or a flower.
I need to talk to you.
Okay.
I will call you. I will call you. Do not say anything.
Mr. Moore, do not say anything. All right. You want your attorney to do as much as he can for you. You don't want to put her in a spot. Let me go over this aggravated robbery stuff. So in February, let's see, they're saying on December 2nd, 2019 at 9:30, the police were dispatched to the victim's residence on an armed robbery in progress. They made the scene and said that a visitor to residence received a direct message from Calvin requesting a haircut. Victim responded to Calvin's message, said to come alone to his apartment where he was visiting friends and he would cut Calvin's hair. Calvin came with a second person who he told to go downstairs, get his phone while he played PS4 with the victim. Shortly after, Calvin went downstairs to see what had happened with the other suspect retrieving his phone. 10 to 15 minutes later, Calvin, the other suspect, returned to the victim's apartment with the other person brandishing a handgun. Immediately, 2 other people wearing masks made from t-shirts with eye holes burst into apartment, also had handguns. Victims of the offense consisted of 4 roommates and 2 visitors. One of the victims was pistol whipped and was bleeding from his forehead to his nose when the police interviewed him. So they called EMS. Another victim who was taking a timed college exam on his computer and didn't respond immediately was hit in the back of the head with a handgun. 2 of the suspects demanded, "Where is everything? Where is the case?" Kicked a bedroom door open, found a safe, demanded the victims open it. Since the safe belonged to a roommate who wasn't there, they didn't have the combination, but the safe was open. They found no money. They forced all 4 victims into the bathroom. Another victim was on the phone, which was kicked from his hand. Calvin and one of the suspects placed him on the floor and threatened to blow his head off if he moved. That room was ransacked. During the incident, it says 18-foot gold necklace, I imagine it's inches, and a medallion were taken off the victim's person. An AR-15 was taken as well. Found also iPhone, a wallet with no money, a PS4 controller, a Samsung phone, a music safe, Xboxes, 2 Xbox controllers, Jordan 11s, and $100 cash. So you understand what the law of parties is, Mr. Moore? The law of parties.
Law of parties?
Yes, so that's a legal term. What it means is, in the state of Texas, when there's 2 or more people that commit, plan, or benefit from a crime together, they're all individually guilty of that crime. So let's say me and Mr. Lewis here, we decide we're gonna rob a bank, and Miss Herrick is joining us in the planning. And so, Mr. Lewis goes in, robs the bank. Miss Herrick is a getaway driver. I'm at home. I'm the mastermind of everything. Right? So they come home, they rob the bank, we split up the money, and we go. All 3 of us are guilty of the robbery, right? Because Miss Herrick, she participated in it. She was a getaway driver. Mr. Lewis went inside, took the money. I benefited. I knew the money was stolen. I planned it, and I took 1/3 of the money and spent it. All 3 of us would be guilty of the bank robbery. So you understand, in the state of Texas, even though you don't actually commit the crime itself, if you planned it or you benefited from it, then you can also, or participated in it, then you're also guilty of the crime as if you had any role in it. If somebody died in that process, in that bank robbery, all three of us would be guilty of capital murder and could face the death penalty. So I need you to understand, even if they're not saying that you personally pistol whipped anybody or held a gun or took anything, they're saying that you were complicit or you helped be part of that process, either the planning or the execution of the crime, which is why I'm finding there's probable cause. I'm not saying that you did it. This is not your trial. I'm just saying there's probable cause enough for me to consider that you could have done it, and that I'm concerned about the safety of the public, especially now with the pending robbery charges. You're around in a stolen car with a stolen firearm, okay? Allegedly. So at this point, I'm because I feel like it's an absolute danger to the community. Yes, Mr. Lewis.
If I may remark, just to clarify, the aggravated robberies were referred out of custody while Calvin was pending the criminal trespass, which was also referred out of custody. He wasn't located for intake or for service because he was on runaway status. I've communicated with his mother about the aggravated robbery cases being referred, but I'm not clear to what extent he may have known that he was facing those charges.
Oh, okay, yes. So that's the problem with running away, is we were trying to find you so you can come in here and talk to me about this so we can figure out if I should release you or not. The fact that you ran away meant you were unavailable, you weren't checking in, so we had a warrant, or we would have had a warrant for you eventually. But yeah, so you're now being held on the aggravated robbery as well as this failure to ID and unlawfully carrying a weapon.
Just those three.
Well, 8, 9, because you have the criminal trespass and you also have 5 counts of aggravated robbery.
What does 5 counts mean?
There were 5 victims.
I will talk to you about it. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll tell you all about
explain
it.
to you. Okay. So, Mr. Moore, I would definitely not say anything to me right now. You need, I mean, especially because your 17th birthday is coming up so quickly. All right. All right. Thank you, Mr. Moore.
Yeah.
All right. Beth Ann Morton. All right, so Ms. Morton. Okay, so you're at ACH.
Mm-hmm.
Having problems. Is somebody from ACH here or from the department?
No, sir.
Her CPS worker was supposed to be here, Alejandra.
Oh, Ms. Berdoza, you are here.
Yes, I am here.
Okay, well, I think she has underlying issues, which is why she's at ACH. I mean, you know, she's not level 1 outstanding, but she's level 1 acceptable. Tell me, what's the department's plan?
Your Honor, our department is looking at.
I'm sorry, the Department of Family and Protective Services.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right now, we're still locating placement for her. The only place that's willing to take her is back at ACH, but we're not wanting to send her back there just due to her physically assaulting staff. So we don't feel it's safe for anyone. So we're still locating placement at the time.
All right. Beth, you understand the situation that I'm in, right? Is because, and I'm so sorry that you have a pending CPS case, that has nothing to do with you. That's not your fault, okay? What it does have to do with you is the allegation that you assaulted one of the staff members at ACH.
Yes.
That was within your control. And so that gives great pause and concern. And I'm kind of torn here.
Sir, may I speak?
Who is?
Me.
Oh, yes.
So my caseworker, I talked it over with her about going back to the placement.
Mm-hmm.
She talked to me, she said that basically I asked her to try to put me in the shelter instead of the RTC. I asked her to put me in the shelter instead, but if that's not gonna happen, all I know is that if you do let me go back to ACH to the actual placement,
I'm gonna work on not assaulting people, and I'm gonna work on trying to keep my hands to myself, and I'm gonna work on talking over, asking to go outside or talk to someone about it before I do it. Because I tried to do that in the beginning. I tried to do that. And
Beth, I'm gonna cut you off here. I don't want you to go into what could have happened on the assaults, because that's a conversation for you and your attorney.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
What I'm concerned about is making sure it's a safe environment. What Alejandra is saying right now is that ACH isn't totally sold on it yet, right? Now, I know the people at ACH, all the way from Dr. Carson, all the way down to the people at the bottom level. And there are some great, great people there. Okay? I mean, honestly, just good people. But they have to be comfortable too. You understand? Sometimes what decisions are made, right? And there's consequences to those decisions. I will tell you what, I am not interested in keeping Beth Ann here any longer than we have to on these misdemeanors. And really, for even the robbery is kind of, I mean, it's the access badge, right? I mean, I get it, but this isn't for financial gain or motive. It's really just to get out of there. So is ACH close to making a decision, do we think?
They haven't stated.
How can we find out?
I can give Linda a call.
Linda.
Ailing?
Okay.
At ACH?
Find out. Ms. Herrick, you have contact with Ms. Berdoza, correct?
I do, yes.
Okay. Stay in touch, Ms. Herrick. Just let me know. While I have the ability as a judge to order ACH to take her, I'm not inclined to do so. There's a certain amount of healing process, Beth Ann. Sometimes, is it Beth or Beth Ann?
Beth.
Beth, okay. Yeah, Beth, sometimes when sometimes you damage relationships where it can't be fixed right away. Sometimes you damage them so they can't ever be fixed, right?
Yes, and
So
I did write letters to everybody that I did do that to, and I wrote letters to them apologizing.
No, Beth Ann, we don't need to talk about that. I don't want to talk about the facts of the case. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out how to get you out of here. I sincerely, I mean, I do want you out of here for this offense that you're accused of committing, but I need to make sure ACH is comfortable with it. Okay, and that is what the slowdown is because it's kind of a repercussion of what they're saying, decisions that you made.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there a possible way that if my caseworker can find a shelter, not an ACH, not at all, just a regular shelter that'll take me until they actually find a place for me?
So here's part of the problem with that, all right, is if it's true that you did assault some of the staff members at ACH, then other placements are going to be very hesitant to accept you in there because they have to worry about their own staff as well, right? This is kind of the consequence of, it's one thing if it was aggression, if they're saying that you were aggressive towards other residents versus staff members, right? That's what's causing all the complication here. So trust me though, I mean, I'm a straight shooter, right? Ms. Herrick knows, everyone knows. You have my word. I do not want you to stay here for this offense. I don't need to keep you here. I just need a safe place to release you to. Not just safe for
Your
Beth.
Honor, something else that Beth wanted everyone to consider is a foster placement. She did very well at her last foster placement, and it wasn't her fault that she was removed from that home. And so I don't want to speak for you, Beth, but the last conversations that we've had, she's been very vocal about wanting to go to another foster situation. She does well with that one-on-one.
That one's easy. All right, so Ms. Berdoza, then if you can, for ACH, then I would like to order y'all to do a foster search, a placement search, and just see if there's one available. If there is, please let Ms. Herrick know. Like I said, my goal is to get her out of here. I just need a safe place. So if y'all are wanting to take her back at ACH, great. If y'all can find a foster placement or do a search, if one turns up, then that's also very good too, all right? Beth, I meant it when I say I want to get you out of here. I just need to do it in a safe way, okay? If there's other alternatives or other, other solutions, I'm open ears, okay? All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John Sanchez.
Sanchez.
All right, Mr. Sanchez, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. The law says when a child is brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 business days and have to make a decision to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 business days to make the same decision. I'll let you know you have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. Finally, you have a right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. So John, you previously in 2019 had a criminal mischief case with a supervisory caution. Then on May 1st, you were brought in as a runaway. Police were dispatched to meet complainant at Fitzgerald Elementary. When they got there, they saw the youth sitting in front of the school, identified yourself as John Sanchez. They figured out you were a runaway and detained you, and that you told the police officers you did something bad and you wanted to turn yourself in. You said you burglarized an Easy Mart on Collins Street. They identified you as a suspect in a recent burglary. They brought you back home, spoke with your mom, and you grabbed some belongings and tried to leave the house. You told the police that you were not going to stay and you continued to leave. After speaking with the supervisor, because you refused to say, and no one else could take you, that you were brought here to Kimvo. Back in February, on to police brought you in. It was reported that John's mother said that you ran away and took her car without permission, drove around Arlington, hit a mailbox about 4 in the morning, and ditched the car with damage. And you're brought in, testing positive for weed. All right, so Mom, I think I remember you. We talked before, right?
I'm not sure.
It was maybe a different judge. Okay. So, all right, here's the thing, right? Like, I like the fact that he's at the school, he's talking to the police, he's very honest with the police, admitted to burglarizing a building, told the police he was going to leave. I'm relying on you, Mom. Like, where are we with this? Is he, if I release him to you, is he going to run away again?
I believe if he comes home, then he needs to be on house arrest. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we can put an electronic monitor on him, but the problem is that doesn't keep him from running away. It just tells us where he is when he runs away. All right, so that's like, I gotta know. I mean, do I release him to you? Is he gonna run away again?
I think that will deter him from running away.
I'm sorry?
I believe that'll deter him from leaving. And then I don't know if they can put it in order for him to stay away from my sister's residence and her children.
Yeah, we can do all that.
I think
So you're confident? You think having an electronic monitor, the accountability will keep him at home?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right. Well,
That and
I'll trust you on this one. All right, so John, what I can do is you owe your mom. I don't know why your mom's doing this, because you're the one that evidently took her car, allegedly, and wrecked it and ditched it. And, you know, your mom loves you, obviously. So I'm going to defer to your mom on this one. Your big thank you for this one, for sticking her neck out for you and vouching for you. And so I'm placing on electronic monitor, and you will have to abide by the conditions that your mom will set up with your probation officer on where you can go, where you cannot go. Okay. Now I'm gonna let you know, I want to have this conversation with you, that if I let you go on electronic monitor your mom, you decide to run away, keep your monitor on, right? Let us pick you up. Because if you cut that monitor off and you ditch it and you throw it away, there's a good chance I won't let you out again until you pay us back for the monitor that you threw away. Okay? Which means until your mom comes up the money to pay for it. How much are monitors running now? Does anybody know? Mr. Dawson, you know how much monitors cost these days?
Yeah, because it is the technology, I've heard up to $1,200 could be the price.
$1,200. So we'll just keep you here until your mom comes up to $1,200 to pay back for the monitor, the GPS monitor, okay? So make sure if you decide to cut it off, you don't throw it away. But my advice is not just don't run away, right? Because what happens if you run away? What happens if you run away? We'll find you eventually, right? And then where do you end up?
Here.
What?
Here.
I can't hear you.
Here.
Here, right. Right. You run away. Forever's a long time. You can't stay a runaway until you're 80 years old, right? You'll eventually be caught. You'll come back to Kimbo or to downtown jail. It doesn't go away just because you run away. So, all right. All the mom's rules. Make sure, be extra nice to her. Clean the bathrooms for her or something. Cook dinner, do the dishes. You are one, okay? All right, thank you. Michael Sanchez.
Michael Sanchez. Come on, put your. Yeah. Come in. Grab some.
All right, Mr. Sanchez, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. The purpose of the hearing is when a child's brought to our detention facility, you have to see a judge within 2 business days. I have to make a decision whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 business days to make the same decision. Also, I want to let you know you have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. Finally, you have a right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. All right. So, Michael, this all started, let's see, you were 13 years old as a runaway in September of 17. And then October of 17, you ran away out of county. How far did he go? Do we know, Mr. Kroll?
We do not, sir.
Okay. All right. So, came back home. New Year's Eve of 2017, you had assault family violence by a family member was dropped by the victim. 3 months later, in March of 18, assault bodily injury, which was supervisory caution. You were let go on March 8th. You picked up another assault causing bodily injury. So there's 3 assaults that you're arrested for until now. Let's see. On May 3rd, about 10:20, Fort Worth PD was dispatched to domestic. Then Michael and Cassandra were in an argument, Cassandra being your sister. Cassandra said she was trying to protect her little brother as Michael's hit him in the past. When she was able to get the little brother away from him, Michael slapped her in the back of the head. Cassandra turned around and called Michael a bitch. Michael then slapped Cassandra with his left hand across the face, then tried to punch her, but she was able to push him and get him away. So what is the March 5th family violence case? Mr. Kroll?
March 5th, he had another incident with the sister. Mom was not at home. She was at work during that time.
Who was the victim on the 2017 family violence case?
2017, I believe, was the mother.
Mother. All right. Mom, this is not a kid I want to keep here. These are misdemeanors. But if he's going to always resort to violence as his solution to everything else, because what I'm seeing is allegations that he's hitting his little brother, he's hitting his sister, he's hitting you. Like, he's hitting also, there's non-family violence assaults. So he's got 2 other cases where there's assaults. Like, at this point, like, it's danger to himself to others. One day somebody's going to have a knife or a gun and just shoot him for doing what he does. So at this point, Michael, you've got to learn, you just can't hit people. That's not the world. That's not the world that we live in. All right, so I'm ordering you detained. Eric Sanders.
Sanders.
All right, Mr. Sanders, I'm Judge Kim. This is the detention hearing. I'm here to make a decision whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 business days to make the same decision. Also, want to let you know you have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. You have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, nothing you say at the detention hearing can be used against you at any other type of court setting. So Mr. Sanders is here on a 10-day hearing. If I remember correctly, he was on probation for unlawfully carrying a weapon, which then while he's on probation was arrested for aggravated robbery on a determinate sentence, which he was placed on probation for a handgun. While he's on probation, he picks up an assault public servant in September of 19th, but the parties agreed to extend his probation out and not revoke him. And now April 29th, there was a new referral from the police report on April 12th. The victim was walking away from a convenience store, approached by two black males who started hitting him and knocking him to the ground, beat him, took his wallet, facial injuries, body injuries. They reviewed a surveillance video. One of the suspects was identified as Derek Sanders. The hoodie and shoes matched perfectly the one shown on the surveillance video of the robbery. Officers recognized his face and haircut, that he was the same one from the robbery. That was on April 12th, but on April 18th, 4th PD brought you in for evading arrest, conducting a robbery investigation for the April 12th robbery that I just talked about. Police returned to the area, saw two males that they thought were the actors in the robbery, and they ran away when they saw the police. Derek continued to run even after allegedly he heard the officer shout, "Stop police." He jumped a fence, ran across the street, and he was caught, brought to Kimbo. There's a positive for marijuana. All right. Ms. Alonzo, he's on determinate sentence probation. What's the length of probation? What's the sentence and length of probation?
His sentence will expire on 8/22/2023.
For how long?
I think he was on 10 years.
10 years. Okay.
You went on 10 years.
Or 8, sorry, I think it was 8 or 10. Let me double check.
I don't think it was 10.
Let me check, sorry. Let me check.
Yeah, Ms. Sanders, we'll find out.
Okay.
I want to say it was 10, but maybe 8. Sorry, it was 8-year determined sentence, 8 years.
8-year determined sentence. All right.
And Your Honor, the DA actually filed a petition on both charges today.
Okay, petition is filed. How old is he?
He's 14.
14?
Yes.
All right, let's just set this for a revocation. Let's say it quickly, like within the next 2 weeks. Ms. Herrick, is that, I'm not even worried about the petition on the new offenses. He's on determinate sentence. Okay. There's a motion to modify filed on the aggravated robbery. Ms. Alonso?
Yes, hold on.
So, are you speaking to me, Your Honor?
Yes, I just wondered, is there a motion to modify filed on the probation case?
No. They just filed a petition on the 2 new offenses, not the aggravated robbery.
Okay. I know the court on its own can modify probation without a motion being filed. I don't know if there can be a commitment off of probation. I'm sorry? Yeah. I don't think so.
in order to commit him, you have to make those certain findings, and right now you don't have any evidence to make those findings. So
Right.
I think we have to have a hearing.
I think so too. Yeah, oh no, there's all kinds of issues, notice and allegations and all that. All right, well,
Your Honor, he is hoping to be released today. He, at the time the offenses were alleged to occur, he was staying with an aunt that lives on a different side of town from his grandma. He's willing to go back to his grandma's house and be placed on an electronic monitor to keep him away from that part of town. So he is hoping to be released today.
Ms. Herrick, I mean, I get that. The problem is he's on probation for a gun offense, and then he commits a new gun offense, then commits a new assault offense against a public servant, and then now he's alleged for a robbery. I mean, in a way, he's de-escalating from a first-degree felony to a second-degree felony, but it's just not. There's a serious concern about the danger to the public on this one. I understand what you're saying, and yeah, some of it makes sense, but this is really making all the spidey senses tingling right now about the danger to himself and to others. So, Mr. Sanders.
I understand, Your Honor. I think Derek understands as well.
All right, Mr. Sanders, I'm detaining you at this point. All right, next, Melissa Soto. Ms. Herrick, your last one was Mr. Adler, so thank you for being here, but you're welcome to watch if you want, otherwise you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, yep, he did it to himself. I'm sorry. He did it to himself.
Hello, Ms. Soto. I'm Judge Kim. The reason why we're here is the detention hearing. When a child is brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days after make a decision whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 business days to make the same decision. Also, let you know you have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. Finally, you have a right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. Okay, so May 3rd, about 9 o'clock, police were dispatched to 7-Eleven. Melissa locked herself in a bathroom at the gas station. So Melissa left the house without permission. Police told the father he could come and get Melissa into his vehicle with the help of Derek, Melissa's brother-in-law. Police told Melissa if she hits, kicks, assaults any family member that she could be arrested. Dad tried to get her into the vehicle to take her home. Melissa kicked Dad in the stomach and chest repeatedly. He also kicked Derek in the stomach and scratched him on the wrist. Dad and Derek reported that it caused pain. Mom, Dad, tell me what's going on.
I'm her older sister, and this is my dad. He doesn't speak English very well, so he wants me to speak.
Sure.
It's been multiple times, just 2 nights before that night that she tried to leave the house. We did have police dispatch as well because she had a 20-year-old in the house that she snuck in while my dad was sleeping.
Is it her boyfriend?
No. I'm sorry?
Is it her boyfriend?
We never know who's her boyfriend because it's always a different guy that she's bringing home or inviting over. She has stolen money from all of us, stolen property as far as my AirPods, my debit card, my parents' jewelry to sell it to get marijuana. We have had her in therapy since she was in 6th grade. She's been admitted to Sundance and Excel, and she has also gone to court for not going to school. And
what was she in Sundance for?
This was in 6th grade. Whenever she went to Sundance, she was telling people to kill themselves, and she was saying that she was depressed and wanted to kill herself as well.
do. What was your name?
My name is Cassandra Soto.
Cassandra, okay. All right, Cassandra, what are we gonna do? I mean,
I honestly don't know. She has, I am 23 years old. She has my brother who's 21 years old. My husband, Derek, my father, my mother, she has the support of everybody. We've taken her, like I told you, since 6th grade to therapies nonstop, and she just keeps getting worse.
here's the thing. If she doesn't want your help or support, there's nothing you can do for her. I mean, it all starts with her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she has no priors with this department. So is there violence with Melissa and Derek or her dad at home?
Yes, she always lashes out at my parents. We actually have 2 younger siblings who are in the house with her, one being 6 years old and one just turned 5 years old. And they specifically have told us that they are scared of her because I even have pictures of her taking out a knife, saying that she was going to hurt us.
Is Melissa a U.S. citizen?
Yes, she is. If I may also add, whenever the police arrested her, my dad, who is not a U.S. citizen, she tried to say that he was abusing her and raised false allegations on him.
Yeah. All right. Normally, Melissa, I would just let children go in this situation. You have no priors, and it seems like it was just one bad night, but it seems like there's a whole lot more going on here. Before I feel comfortable releasing you back, I want you to get to level 1L and hold her for 3 days, okay? If you can control your emotions, in order you get to level 1L, hold it for 72 hours. And at that point, if your family feels comfortable because they're talking with you and they're seeing a change in you, then I'm okay releasing you back home. But it's a 2-part test. One is you're gonna have to prove to me in detention that you can follow the rules, that you can behave. The second part of the test is you have to use the phone calls as an opportunity to rebuild the bridges that you have started to destroy. Okay? You understand what I've said so far, Melissa? So I'm putting this on you. You can completely control the behavior levels in Kimbo. What you cannot control is how Derek and Cassandra and your siblings and your father, how they all feel, okay? If they can, because they know you far better than I do or the detention officers. If they, after talking to you, feel like that you've changed, that you're going to make progress and that you're not going to be a danger to other people or yourself, then, and they want you home, then I'm okay with you going home. Okay? Any questions for me?
No.
Okay. Cassandra, I don't want you to explain this to Dad right now, but you think he's going to be okay with this?
Yes.
Okay. I want her to go home. But if she comes home, it has to be in a safe environment for everyone, not just for her, but for you, for your husband, for everyone. Okay?
Yes.
All right.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
Your Honor, can
Yes,
you
Your
hear me?
Honor.
Your Honor, can you hear me?
I do.
I have a typo. Her release was actually on 4/14.
Who? I don't have it on the docket, but I have the packet here. It's just another detention hearing?
It's an out of custody, Your Honor.
Oh, we have 2 out of custodies. Okay.
I'm not this one.
This is, I'd ask. Who is this?
Mary Angelise.
Mary Louise.
No, Mary Angelise.
Angelise, okay.
Is my
Mary
mom?
Angelise Adorno.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. So Mary Angelise, your attorney dropped off a form that's a waiver. I think he had you sign, right? Where he talked to you about it probably on the phone, saying we don't have to do a detention hearing. Do you remember having that conversation?
No.
Mr. Sierra didn't call you and say, do we want to have a detention hearing or can we just pass it?
Yeah, he did, but I never said I wanted to pass it. I just said that I didn't wanted him to proceed with the whole thing about me going home first before placement. But I did want to proceed with the detention hearing so I can know more information about what's going on.
Okay. All right, well, I'll tell you what, at this point, I don't have everything here because Mr. Sierra submitted a form saying that you don't wish to have a detention hearing today, okay?
Okay.
So what we can do is, you know what? We'll just set it for tomorrow, okay? So
Okay.
we'll have the detention hearing tomorrow, okay?
Okay, so you guys want to know more about my placement and stuff, right?
Your place, well, I don't know about that. If that's not ready, that's not ready. This is just
Okay.
about detention hearing, about whether to keep you until your placement or not.
Okay, I've been a level 1-0 for 2 weeks.
Good, thank you. Has it been hard? I heard there's been drama going on back there.
It's been kind of hard, but I just pulled it together and like I didn't get in trouble.
Yeah, keep out of it, right? Just keep to yourself. That's the best way to stay out of trouble. Well, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so we're gonna tell your attorney to be here tomorrow and we'll have a detention hearing.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, Ariana Howard, for out of custody?
Yes, Your Honor.
No. Because she's saying that she didn't waive it. I understand, but she's saying she didn't waive it, so I'm not gonna agree that she didn't waive it. Is Ms. Howard around?
Coming in, Judge.
Oh, there we go. Over this one? Oh, okay. All right, Ms. Howard. We're here for out of custody detention hearing. I need to make a decision whether to take you into custody or to keep you out in the community. By taking you in custody, the law says that you have to see a judge every 10 business days while you're in custody to make the same decision. You have the right to remain silent. However, if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. Finally, you have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, or your family cannot afford one, I will provide one for you. So let's see, back in June of last year, you had 2 assaults and 2 assaults on a security officer. They were all dismissed with DPP. And then that was in November of 19. Since November of 19, while you're in deferred prosecution, you tested positive for weed on March 2nd, on March 11th, March 20th, and April 7th. So, go backwards in time. This is where you sprayed 2 Six Flags security guards with pepper spray. So on March 3rd, police were dispatched to Miller Avenue about a stolen vehicle. Victim said he was driving around with female friends, pulled in a convenience store, went inside. When he walked back out, car was gone. While the officer was speaking to him, he said, "There goes my car," and pointed to a silver 4-door Kia. They got in the patrol car, tried to do a traffic stop. Driver failed to yield. Sped down Berry Street. Different officer joined the chase. Lights and sirens. Driver kept on going down Berry, trying to turn, but didn't make the turn and crashed into the side of a parked trailer. 4 occupants jumped out, ran to a backyard, caught them in the backyard, and Ariana was one of the ones identified, but not the driver, not the suspected driver. So a month later, 13-year-old Ariana was referred for a DTA. She left the house at, this one's 13? Oh, I didn't know that. I just had my sheet. All right. Oh, no, it's okay. I just had the loose packet. All right, so this is now dealing with a child under 14. So we're going to Texas Family Code, closing this proceeding to the public and ending the YouTube live stream. That's right, just remind me.